All right, people, welcome back to the second live classic castle discussion we're doing here with the Brick Stop and Brick Monarch. I'm just waiting for Brick Monarch to join. I'm slightly early, but I think we're hitting 4 o'clock right on the dot here. Check out my cool t-shirt. Pretty cool. All right. Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about... Hey, we got some people joining in. Awesome. So today we're going to be talking about Crusaders or Lion Knights. And I will wait for Andrew to join here to get really into that. 1 second here. He should be joining up right about now. Soon. There we go.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing, man? Good to see you, man. Let me adjust my camera real quick. I'm just like awkwardly talking about nothing, waiting for you to pop on here. So no problem. You got the appropriate shirt, I see.
Representing?
Yeah, I'm representing Wolfpack, so you know, hanging out in the Crusader dungeons these days.
Yeah. So big addition to the Lego Castle world, the classic Crusaders and Lion Knights.
Yeah. So I always called them Crusaders just because when I was younger and I used to Google and look at the different things that weren't really out in my time because they were just a little before what I was doing.
Yeah.
They were all Crusaders, so I call them Crusaders. But a lot of people do like Lion Knights, and I think in different countries they're called different things too. So, but yeah, that's what we're talking about tonight. Lion Knights, Crusaders. We jumped out classic castle last couple weeks ago, and we're moving along the timeline, so I'm super excited. I know you have a ton of stuff. Well, you love this line, so I want to hear. I want to hear your thoughts. Let's just start it out. What do you like about Crusaders or Lion Knights that you think?
I mean, honestly, stating the obvious would be the fact that Lego introduced the gray pieces. You know, the gray castles, official.
Right. Finally,
that yellow thing made me want to throw up in my mouth.
Oh. Okay. Well. I know there's a lot of people that love it for the nostalgia reasons, but yeah,
of course.
Well, and I've heard different things about the Yellow Castle, and part of it was, during that time, it was right out of World War II, I think, and people were like, well, Lego didn't want kids making like tanks and stuff with the gray bricks. That's what I heard on a documentary. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, so
that could be true. That sounds about right.
Yeah, but regardless, they decided that they were going to go with gray bricks eventually, because you can't really do castle worlds without the gray bricks. So we got the gray walls, got all kinds of good stuff with the Crusader stuff.
Yeah. So what was your favorite set in that theme?
Yeah. Honestly, so my favorite, I have two that are like really up there, and it's not the Guarded Inn, so just calm down, everybody. It's actually the Prisoner Convoy. I don't know if you know which one the weird one. It's got the blue, funky blue.
Excuse me, did you just ask me if I knew what you were talking about?
You know what? Yeah, I did.
Dude, that's a dope set.
It's weird. I like
an oddball set. It had some odd pieces in it. You know, the black wall piece of all things.
Right. A black wall piece on a wagon of all things.
Yeah, on an actual wagon. And if I'm not mistaken, that came with like 4 horses. That was like
5.
Was it 5? Yeah, because there was a knight. There was a knight with it. But the wagon was carried by 4.
Yep.
So yeah, that was like the set to buy if you wanted to stock up on horses back in like, what was that, 84, 83, something like that.
100%, because like, yeah, that was, we're seeing horses for the first time, right?
Yeah, and I think that set specifically like retailed at like $19 or maybe $16 when it first came out.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, now you got to pay like 80 for it.
Used, 80 used.
Yeah.
But I mean, it came with a peasant. I like things that come with weird, interesting stuff. So the Prisoner Convoy, it had some weird blue parts on it. It had a black wall, like you mentioned, which I totally forgot about. It had a ton of horses, and it had a peasant running away. And I don't know if you noticed, like the picture of it has the archer about to just nail the guy off the top. It's so funny. So it's like hilarious. It's a great set. And then my other one was King's Mountain Fortress, just because of all the reasons, because King's Mountain Fortress is awesome, and we can get into some of the unique things about that set a little later, I think. But
I would have to say that King's Mountain Fortress would definitely be my ultimate favorite from Lion Knights.
yeah,
Simply because, you know, it introduced the masked helmet for the knights. The raise up lid.
yes,
the new version of that.
The newer version.
Oh my god, man! The catalog from whatever, I think it was 1992, or maybe it was in '89, maybe it was 1991. I don't know.
No.
But it introduced it, and it showed the King's Mountain Fortress, right, and the Forestman's River Fortress, and the Black Monarch's castle was off in the background.
Yeah.
And there was the ghost in the cave.
Yeah.
And that night with the helmet, he was like right there in the foreground, like right. I was like, oh my god, I'm in love with this. I love it.
No. I mean, let's just talk about the marketing for a second. From like the 70s to the 90s, those posters, those promotional pieces, there's so much care and art that goes into those things that is lacking now, but like maybe just because of the times. But man, that stuff would grab your imagination instantly. You'd see one of those big dioramas.
As a kid, that was life, man. Like I remember when I was in like 4th grade, 3rd grade, 2nd grade, you know what I'm saying? I'd get those booklets, and that was why I failed a lot of my classes, because I had that booklet, and I'm like flipping through it. Can't wait till Christmas to roll around. I'm like, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that.
Yeah.
You know. So
no,
they went everywhere with me. They went everywhere.
Yeah. No, and that's why, all the ones that I had as a kid are all gone. They're beat up. They're shredded. Like, because I carried them everywhere, like you said. And like we had them in the car, and I would like stay up with the flashlight. I wasn't reading books. I was flipping through the catalog with the flashlight under the blankets. Go to bed.
You know what's up.
Yeah. So let's see. We got a couple comments. Welcome everybody, by the way. Thank you so much for joining in. We really appreciate it. Someone was asking about the shirts. They said super dope shirts. Where do we get them? Well,
Monarch Shop.
Monarch Shop. Go check it out. We've been tagging each other back and forth on it a lot. So any of our content recently probably has a link to that shop. You should go check them out. They're awesome. When they made the swords shiny, that was another level for me. See, and so for Gray Walls, for you, and like bringing the whole thing, the shiny swords were for us 90s kids. Like, that was a whole nother level. The big broadsword.
Those were released in '95 with the Royal Knights, the Great Sword.
Yeah, and then you got them with the Fright Knights as well. A couple of the Fright Knights carried them, I think.
Yeah, the Fright Knights kind of.
But the Bat Lord had one. He rode around on a black dragon with a giant sword. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was all right.
Although, they're not up to par. I agree.
Yeah, the sets went downhill at that point.
I'm with you. And there was one more. Oh, something about the old horses. The old horses are the best. I have like 20 of those horses from the 90s. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure both of us, you and I, probably have buckets of those horses from old school.
Don't even get me started, man. I'm in the shop right now, bro.
There you go. Yeah, I
got like 80 of them.
I've got these pick-a-brick drawers that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to go into it why I have pick-a-brick drawers, but I got one chunk of that drawer just old school horses, fold at the top. But yeah, so you said not Black Monarch. What are we talking about?
Mountain Fortress.
King's Mountain Fortress. So that's your all-time like Crusader.
Yeah, that was my all-time favorite, and I think that maybe my second one. I can't remember whether it was considered part of it. I don't think it was considered necessarily part of the Crusaders, but it was the Knights Challenge, the Joust set.
Yeah, it came with a Crusader, right? And there was
it was the Lion. It was the Lion Knights versus the Black Knights, and at the time there was three available Lion barding horse for the horses, right? One was in the Knights Challenge, one was in the Twin Arm Launcher, and one was in the King's Mountain Fortress.
Right.
So there was three.
Yep.
Right. Now I've got probably like 10 of those now.
Sure. Yeah, I have like 2 or 3.
When you're a kid and you can't drive to Toys R Us, right?
Right.
Getting those 3 sets was like
that was the holy grail for sure.
Yeah, it was. It was the holy grail of getting all the Lion Knights together.
100%. those horses in the Western sets ruled. Yeah, if you like the Western stuff, which I love, but yeah, the painted horses was a really cool stuff over there. And they did that a couple more times. They did a painted horse or a printed horse on Prince of Persia, and they might have done it one more time. But with the eyes, the what do you call it, blinders for the wagon on Kingdom's Farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Western horses. I love all the Western stuff. Let's see, how's it going? Squad 6.
The gray one from there had the.
Yeah,
printed another one
horse there. Yep, there you go. This guy, he's got the whole setup here. Since there's snow in Texas, thoughts on winter themed castles? Yeah, I've been.
Who's in here? Who's in here from Texas? I was just in Texas last week.
Spencer Andrews too. You were just in Texas.
Yeah, I was in Texas for a week right before that ice storm hit Austin, and I bounced just in time. I made it out of Dallas. There was only a little bit of ice.
Hey, Spencer. Spencer from Texas. He says me. He's in Texas. Yeah, winter themed castles. I did a winter themed castle way back before I knew what I was doing. I did like 3 or 4 sets. I think it's a cool idea. It's hard to stay away from Chima vibes and Nexonite vibes when you're adding such a drastic color into it with icicles and things. It's like,
yeah, I mean, it's tough. Right? It's tough, but I'm working on one too that's going to include some of my new stuff. And it's going to be kind of exciting. I can't remember who did it, but there was a couple of people that had built the Black Knight's castle and then threw the snow on it.
Yeah.
And it inspired me. I was like, dude, I could totally do that, but I'm going to do it with an original build. But yeah, the snow on castles, I would love to see that. Because I'm from the north originally, so I love snow.
Yeah, I love snow too. I think it needs, if it's done in a classic way, I think it would be really cool. I don't like seeing a lot of modern, really intricate, icically melty details on something that's supposed to look like an old school set. But for a mock, I mean, classic snow, I've seen some phenomenal mocks that are covered in Lego snow, and they look great. Speaking of, I don't know what I'm talking about, because I had the Black Knights Winter Tavern I did as a PDF. You can buy the instructions for it. It's a snow castle set, literally.
Yeah.
You
I've actually about halfway through getting the parts together to build that too. So I'm gonna build it.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. I'd love to see pictures once you put that together. That would be awesome.
Dude, I'll do a 360
I think we're pretty much close
video on that thing.
That'd be awesome, man. I would love to see that. For sure, not fantasy. Yeah. So making the snow castles fit into which is what I love doing, is trying to create new stuff to fit into your existing old school castle theme. Yeah, I think snow would look cool. Actually, I sent you a picture of someone who did a winter or fall rebuild of Dark Forest Fortress in the snow. I think that actually did look cool now that I'm thinking about it. So
badass.
Anyway, let's do a little history about Crusaders. They were in 1984 to 1992, I believe.
Yeah.
Is their timeline there? This is all what I found about, or what I know about them, is that the wagon, the little treasure wagon, was the last set released in that line, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's the last set in the line. And I think the Kings Mountain Fortress was the last big one. It was near the end. I think when you were saying dates earlier, it was around 1992, I think, was Kings Mountain Fortress. Yeah.
Yeah, because in 1990, in 1992, the Black Knights made a new appearance with the Dungeon Master's Castle.
Yes.
And the Wolfpack came out, and the Forestmen were still around, but it was Wolfpack and the Black Knights after that. So
yeah, and you get this whole cool vibe of the you kind of feel like the Dungeon Master's Castle was specifically commissioned to hunt down Wolfpack, because there's one in his prison, and they came out around the rest of those sets came around together.
Yeah, for sure.
But I love that the Dungeon Hunters from the Crusaders, that little wet prison wagon, they were after the Forestmen. So it's you got all these different levels of stuff.
And I think honestly the Crusaders Lion, the whole Lion Knight thing was really cool, because those came out around the age of where the Disney introduced the original Robin Hood,
Yeah.
And, you know, the lion, you know, the Prince John was a lion and King Richard was a lion.
Yeah.
And they had lion banners, and then there was
Yeah.
the Woodsman, and they dressed the same. So it was
Right.
all like, it was all related. When you're 10, right?
Yeah.
Or 7 or 8 years old, and you watch the cartoon and you're like, you see the Legos and you're like, yeah, this is it. This is what it was about.
It makes sense. Yeah.
It all made sense.
Yeah.
So they were always the royal good guys to me.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. No, I
Hunting
get it.
down the bad guys, hunting down the, you know.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm with you. I love that. We got Transparent Bricks. Hey guys, glad to be joining the stream again from Australia. Welcome, my friend. Australia,
Yeah,
awesome. Love that you're here. Dragon Knights, Lego CR8. Oh, Lego Creator with an 8 in the center. I see what you're doing there. Nice. Dragon Knights, love the green dragons. Yeah, man, we're gonna get into the green dragons. We're gonna get into all that stuff in future live streams because we're trying.
We're gonna go in a timeline manner here.
Yeah,
You know.
so it'll be probably 2 or 3, maybe even 4 more out before we get to the Dragon Masters with the green dragons because we got
green dragons.
Yeah, dude, I got a stack of those guys somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a stack of them, and I got a ton of the black ones too for some reason. I got like 6 or 7 of the black ones. There, yeah, exactly. I got a bunch of them just like that.
I even got a bunch of the deer.
Dude, I saw you dude. I saw you join the deer up with the Forcemen. I love that. It totally like the
that
Lord
was meant to be.
Life.
That was meant to be. I've been waiting years for them to come out with a stag like that.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I was hoping that we would get one sooner because there's a lot of sets that I feel like it could have fit into, but they did brick built ones or whatever. So
yeah, those are never good.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's see. Well, let's talk about a lot of the firsts that came out. Obviously, the Gray Walls. Obviously, I mean, a ton. We know it went from the yellow castles and like the really basic stuff into a fully fledged, full on castle world. So of course, there's going to be a lot of firsts. But I think the firsts that we can talk about that actually influenced further sets would mostly be on Kings Mountain Fortress, with of course the raised base plate. I mean, those things
that was huge.
That changed the world, my friend.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah, so there's the raised base plate. I want to say the Ghost showed up first on that set as well.
I think it did, but it was shortly followed by the Black Knight's Ghost.
Okay.
With it was just a little 2 corner pieces and the wooden doors.
Yeah, I have this little set, which came with the Ghost as well. It's a funky little one. See this little guy?
Yeah.
So the Ghost was very popular in the castle world. He was, well, actually, probably in a way. I mean, you have an army of undead in the original classic theme because the ghosts are everywhere. They're popping out of doors in almost like half the sets once they introduce them in the King's Mountain.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, it's actually one of the things that I'm missing. I recently bought a bag of ghosts.
Yeah.
But it's just the shell, so I gotta I gotta get the white pieces. You know, the white.
Yeah, and the black Lego heads.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that I'm actually lacking. I only got like maybe 10 of them, and I feel like I need a few more to have the full completes on many sets.
Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of them on other sets that weren't castles because they showed up in other things too. And so I probably have a big handful of them if I pull them off of everything. But yeah, I mean, you can't have enough of those classic original glow-in-the-dark ghost guys. They're great. I love those guys. Let's see. Oh, I was talking to somebody recently talking about the crossed axe torso piece and how he mentioned something interesting that I hadn't thought about before, and it was that
tell me all about it.
Yeah, listen to this. This is kind of cool. He feels that was super underused, and that if they had printed a similar axe thing on like a blue torso, you could have had like Falcon men at arms, because it really doesn't explicitly point to being a Crusader or a Lion emblem.
No, I know.
Pushed a couple of those torsos into other colors and expanded, kind of like the chainmail or the plate mail from like almost every castle has a couple of these plate mail guys with different armor. Yeah.
The scale mail.
Yeah, scale mail. Yeah, that's what it was. I love those guys, but like I totally could see the crossed axe emblem as being.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I thought that the symbol was dope. It never ended up on a shield. It was only on the torsos.
Yeah.
And they were just kind of like you said, men at arms. They were just there at the lion's beck and call.
Yeah. And I just feel like, yeah, they could totally fit in for just troops, extra dudes. Kind of like the guys divided plane, the red and blue, or red, blue and gray, whatever, from the classic castle. You could throw into any army and just kind of have them be the extra guys.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah. Will you update the roofs of your blacksmith set or keep it original? People have been switching out the moss and putting those Nexonite plates on them.
Original.
Yeah, I know a lot of people aren't into the moss, but
Do you have yours built back there? Do I see it built?
Yeah, we got it, boys. It's huge. We have it right back there, man.
Yeah, I've got mine sitting right over there.
Dude, yeah. Do you want to take a detour and talk a little bit about the blacksmith shop? Because it's out.
Yeah, we can, for sure.
What's your favorite part about it?
I mean,
besides the whole thing.
I mean, yeah, I love the whole thing.
Yeah.
I really, I know that there's not a lot of people that know this. And first, let me say first, I appreciate all the orders that have come in to the Brick Monarch shop. There was a couple of delays, but just so that everyone knows, my mother passed away last week.
Yeah.
So that was I was in Tennessee for a week, then I was in Texas for a week, and now I'm back. So I apologize for any delays. That won't happen again. But in relation to that, the way that the bed is done in the upstairs, like it feels like it's like a quilt.
Yeah.
And my mom used to make quilts. So as soon as I was putting it together, I was like, dude, this is just like what mom made.
That's
all
that's
the time.
That is,
so
I love
that was kind of cool. So that's probably my favorite part of the whole thing.
It kind of comes full circle and ties it in, man. That's
I thought it was really cool. I pointed it out to my fiance. I was like, look at this. This is just like the quilts that like mom has thrown all over the couches.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I love it, man. No, that's such a cool story. That's something that you're gonna be like. That's something that's with you now with the blacksmith set. I love it.
Yeah, it is. Every time I take the roof off, I see the quilted blanket laying over the top.
Yeah.
Pretty
actually, I was concerned putting it together because of the two different offset green colors and stuff.
Yeah. I did it wrong the first time.
Yeah. I almost did. I saw another little tile.
Yeah, I was in there with the separator, like prying them off.
Yeah. We got waves. So if I wave, I think it like tracks it and then says I wave to people. That's wild. Anyway, ghosts are the best. I missed who said that, but I caught it earlier. Yeah, they are the best. Blacksmith shop, dude. Okay, now listen, this was ingenious. On the first level, when you build the little forge and you put the light brick in it, and I've never been one too much for light bricks just because they're kind of a gimmick, but when you push the bellows, light turns on like the hot coals. I was like, this is like, it's so simple, but it's next level.
Next level, dude. I know.
So that blew my mind. I was like,
I pointed that out too. I was like, look at this. You actually push on it and it looks like it. And you push on it and it lights up. I mean, it's just like next level for sure. Next level.
Yeah. I kind of want to
right on the very bottom. Right on the very bottom of it too.
Yeah, I kind of want to pull mine up and show people, but I might drop it.
Like in the first step. I got it sitting on a shield right now.
Okay.
So I can move it around.
Nice.
So you got this little guy right here.
And you push the bellows. Dude,
boom.
It's so great. It's practical. It works too well. I love it so much. I'm planning on making my ghost floating with the transparent minifig. The opposing stands from the Marvel sets. They have the funky little jumper plates and things they do with this. Yeah, so he's gonna float all his ghosts with the transparent parts. I like it. Good.
You can get that. You can get those same parts with the Moaning Myrtle minifig from Harry Potter. And then you don't have to buy any of that Avenger garbage.
Get Avengers out of here. This is a classic Castle podcast. Or not podcast, live stream. Get at no, it's fine. Whatever you're into, people. Like it's all Lego stuff. It's fun times.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you want to go over like what sets you own from the Crusaders theme? Jump circling back to that.
Yeah, sure, man.
Okay.
I am only missing maybe 2.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So you own all of them but 2.
I own all of them but 2.
Very nice. That's a
the one you were talking about earlier. Prisoner
Oh.
Convoy.
Yeah. Totally
Yeah.
don't have that one either.
I mean, okay, let me say this. I haven't taken the time to dig the parts out to know if I have them.
Right.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure that I do, but as of right now, unofficially, I don't have the set.
You haven't purchased one, or right.
No.
I get it. Yeah, there's a couple I'm like, do I say I have this set just in any theme? Because I'm like, I know I have the parts to build it, but I didn't officially purchase it. So, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
I mean, in my opinion, if you've got the minifigs that go with it,
yeah,
and you've got the parts, you have the set.
I agree. I mean, like, yeah, unless you're like scrapping other sets to try and build that one, like, because
No, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Once I have the set complete, it goes in its own container.
Exactly. Yeah.
And those are null and void. So if I didn't have to buy more minifigs or whatever.
Right. No, that makes sense. Yeah, because otherwise you're like, oh yeah, I have all these sets. I'm like, yeah, but you just switch the minifigs around. That you don't have those.
Yeah, no, that is not owning the set.
All right, waving to more people. Hello, thank you for joining. Love that you're here. We're talking about the sets I have. I'll rattle off the ones I've got because I might have half of them because I think there was about 22 sets released around that number.
Yeah,
because they did a couple of re-releases of like the little cart and like Guarded In got a re-release. And I have the re-release of Guarded In, so I don't have the original. My grandma bought me the Guarded In when it came out again in 2002. I think it's
2001. I think is when it
okay. That. The Lego Legends set.
Yeah, the Legends.
So I do have the Guarded In. I got the Treasure Cart. Got a couple of those. Siege Cart, Armor Shop. Twin Arm Launcher, Dungeon Hunters. I have 3 of those sets because I love the Dungeon Hunter so much.
Good set.
The Viking Voyager. And what's funny about that set is I thought it was called King's Oarsman. Realized later that was a completely different set with the funky little
There was
2
2 boats during the Lions, and that was the 2. Viking Voyager was one of them.
I find it funny that it's called Viking Voyager. It's just a name they slapped on it. I think it's funny though.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was just a name.
Yeah, and they made it. It was long, and they had the spears as the oars, right? So it was like it looked like a long boat, kind of. So they're like, and they didn't stay super like they weren't tied to their own concepts of the Crusaders can only be European land forces like this and that. They're like, we have a set with dudes from the Crusader line, but they're called Viking Voyager. Like, they didn't care. It's fine with me too. The King's Mountain Fortress and then the King's Catapult. Those are the ones I own. And if anyone interested in the set numbers, I can drop them in the comments after I post it.
Do you have the King's Catapult?
But yeah. So I have about half the line. No. I bought the King's Mountain Fortress on eBay for actually a really good price several years ago. And I never got my hands on the King's Castle. Just never. I tell you what, if you can acquire the minifigs for that, they're actually fairly simple to get a hold of. Yeah.
There's not like any crazy parts in that you can't just quickly replace.
Right.
There's not like any one-of-a-kind pieces.
Sure.
It's a very generic set to have. I have it in old gray and I have it in light bluish gray.
Okay. So you have both.
I have both versions.
Well, because it is very basic. It's a square castle with a bunch of walls. Yeah. Super
simple.
No, and it makes sense, and I like that it kind of ties in with their name because Crusader castles looked like that. They were war fortifications in like enemy territory during that time, right? And so they just built up walls, and they were square, very generic fortresses to defend certain locations during the Crusades. So Crusader's Castle works very well for describing that type of castle. We got some. I'm sad. We got Robbie Duck 12. Welcome back. I remember he had a lot of comments and things and it really participated last time. Thank you so much for coming on again. I'm sad the Fantasy Era Crown Knights never got a ship after the Skeletons and Trolls got them.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I love the Fantasy Crown Knights.
Look at that. There you go. Dude, I gotta start collecting those so I get like the whole like wall with all the shields hanging up at some point. That's gonna have to happen. It's gonna happen.
What you need a bigger one.
Dude, cosplay. I need a cosplay size.
Yeah, guys, check this out. This is the big giant.
What am I doing?
Shield.
So you're just gonna send that over to me, right?
Yeah, totally. So this is the one that's available on the store right now.
Yeah.
And this one is gonna be available soon, the larger size.
Are you gonna?
So you can hang these outside on your garage door and feel like you're pulling up to the castle.
Totally. That is so cool. I love it. It's a human. It's a what is that? That's to scale, really, to what a Lego shield would look like for a human.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I love it. So those are going to become available at some point on your shop as well.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Fantastic. I love it. Let's see. Going back, let's just jump back to the fantasy era, guys, and their boat for a second. Because the trolls got a gigantic warship, and the skeletons got a weird, like, boarding ship, didn't they? That kind of came up to the top. Yeah, it wasn't a great design. I agree. Like, it's not amazing. But they still got a ship, and you're right that I never even thought about that. Crown Knights didn't get any ship at all.
No, and I actually really like that theme too. I really like that faction.
Yeah, Crown Knights are cool. I like thinking that maybe they got revived, from the original castle. There was a faction of them that came back strong, and because it's the Crown. The Crown Knights are back.
Yeah.
It's cool to see that. It was really fun. And they have a ton of other phenomenal sets, like the Medieval Market, right? That's in that theme.
Yeah, it was. Set. The Medieval Market was one of the best castle sets that they released.
I think it's probably one of the best castle sets ever of all time.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the top-notch sets for sure. I have two of them.
Yeah, I just have the one. I got it when it was current, and then I'm thinking of putting it back together because I don't have it built and trying to see how it looks with the blacksmith. The blacksmith's so big.
I have one full, and then some girl was collecting them. Collecting Legos, right, and had one and was missing like 2 minifigs, and she was like, I have to get at least 100 for this. I was like, done. Done. I had to drive an hour to get it. It was on the other side of Tampa, and I was like, baby, get in the car. We got to go get the set right now.
Completely worth it, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. I like the shape of the new swords that came out with the Blacksmith Shop.
I do too. I love those things.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's checked Bricklink on these things, but these minifigs, people are asking for like your leg to get a hold of extra ones.
Are those swords? Because they should be
I'm not talking about the sword. I'm talking about the minifigs.
Oh.
I was gonna go. I jumped on Bricklink just the other day, and I was like, I wonder if I could jump in here and buy like 10 or 12 of these new Falcon guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not for $25 each. I'm not.
No way, dude. Well, so this falls back to the little gray hats, which maybe we shouldn't tell people to go buy them because it'll drive the price even up higher. But like those little gray Forceman hats, $2 a piece.
Yeah, I bought 25 of them yesterday.
Oh, I know. I remember you told me.
Yeah, dude.
You got to have them, though. I mean, I was talking to someone else. I'm like, dude, people don't realize for castle fans, anytime a castle piece like that new sword, which, by the way, I do agree with both of you. The sword design for the ones that come with the Blacksmith and the Raven Knights, phenomenal sword design. One of the best they've done for a very long time.
These things are badass.
They're great. They look fantastic. Because I was so disappointed for the swords that came out in the Viking sets and the Knights Kingdom sets. They were the worst. They're Power Ranger crap. Like, I could not handle them. I have all of them like with you do with your old gray parts. I throw them in a bag. Like, I can't. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But what I'm saying is Castle fans, it's a huge thing when a Castle piece, especially one in a color we haven't seen yet, pops up on any set, whether it's Castle or not. And so I was talking to someone else about it. I'm like, this is huge for Castle fans. A gray Forestman that fits, because the Forestman's torso is the same as the peasant torso, and it's gray and green. So now you can make gray Forestman, and then I put that little set together. You can see it on my Instagram. But like, there's possibilities.
I know. And now that you've done that, I'm on this OCD mission, right, to have like 50 of those guys.
Yeah. You need an army of them. You need let's see, what do we got? We got a couple more comments. I like the shape. Okay, this is the new swords. And then someone else popped in. Hi, Blueprint Bricks came along. Welcome. You guys are just the best. Thanks for all the great content from Blueprint Bricks. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching it and joining
Yeah, I
with
appreciate it. Thanks.
Gray Forestman is clutch. JMS Bricks. Yeah, I agree. Like, I need more of them. I need a whole world full of Gray Forestmen. And
Okay, Jason, from here forward, I'm going to race you.
yeah.
See how many you could get, and I'll see how many I can get.
It's the torso at this point. So in my Gray Forestmen, I called them the Woodsman. I'm not going to get too much into my own private lore, but like I listed them as the Woodsman, and they have a little bit geographical different location in my head.
Yeah, I agree. They're called the Woodsman, and they live in the Birch Forest.
Exactly. So
I'm with you 100%.
Okay, so here we are. Woodsman in the Birch Forest. They got the light gray. I have the other rare-ish torso, which is the blue scale mail on some of their men-at-arms and some of their other little guys that hang with them, because I think I put like gray arms on those guys, and they actually turned out to kind of match pretty well with the Gray Forestman torso, or the peasant torso is what it really is. But
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but even then, I don't know that I can make more than a handful with the blue scale mail and the peasant torsos. I don't know, man. I'm sure you could probably beat me fairly quickly on that one.
Well, I got whatever it is, 25 of those hats coming right now.
Yeah. So there you go. At the very least, you're gonna have hats for 25 of them. So let's see. I can't remember what color hoods. Did I put hoods on them? I think I put hoods on a couple of them, and I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you did put a couple of brown hoods on them.
I think brown works. I've seen people put black quivers and black hoods on some of them a little bit, and I think that looks really good too. But I think I want to go with the brown still for their quivers and hoods and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a nice accent. Question. Why do you guys think sets are generally made in a summer looking season? Green grass, etc. We were just talking about that's a
good question.
That's from Blueprint Bricks.
That is a good question. I mean, I would agree that, and I don't want to go too much into detail because we're both working on some private stuff, Jason and I, that we're going to introduce here shortly. That's going to kind of throw all that out the window.
Yeah, we do have some plans here, but I agree. They should have put some different seasons in there. Kind of like they did with the Treehouse set. That was pretty. Right. That was pretty cool. Where you could have it like a spring day or a fall day. Yeah. I would say at least two, maybe like the green grass and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine, say, like the camouflaged outpost in the fall?
I've seen people do it. It looks nice.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
Man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, I agree. I mean, that's a good question. I mean, I would like to see some seasonal changes and some castle builds. That'd be bad.
I think it makes sense in some aspects as to why they stuck with the same thing. That's what they started with, and so it makes everything consistent. If you were going to release a whole bunch of guys that were supposed to be in the same area with the Crusaders and the Black Knights, and they had snowy stuff, I mean, yes, they could be in a different region, but it probably consistent reason does look right. They're like, well, we did them all in a season. That's green grass, blue water, gray.
Yeah.
Wood.
So I will say this, and I'll be quick with it because this isn't the topic of discussion today. But when I was younger, I got all the Dragon Masters at Christmas, so I automatically related the Dragon Masters to winter. So like as a kid, I was taking my sets out and setting them in the snow and taking photos of them. And, with the all the green pieces, the dragon, the wizard with the long beard, and then the little green, the trans 1x1 round dots that they would put in their treasure chest, which was like the gems before the gems came along.
Yep.
I was like, this is just so cool. And so I've always related the Dragon Masters with Christmas and like winter.
Sure.
Right? They were just always winter to me.
Yeah. Well,
they all had fireplaces in them. They all had, the fire was always going. I was just like, that was it for me.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, they were more decorative. The Dragon Masters, not to get off on Dragon Masters and all of that whole train of thought, but like the Dragon Masters had much more decorative sets. They had the gilded arches, and they had like this kind of interesting, like, different, almost a different season. Like I could see that totally. That totally makes sense to me. I like that. Yeah.
I happen to have this guy just sitting right here on the shelf.
There he is. Love it. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. The gilded window and the gilded archway there. It just adds it. I get
Yeah.
what you're saying, totally. And then you got the old wizard guy. Yeah, totally. And if you got him for Christmas in the wintertime, that's
Yeah, and then they had the red roofs, and there's lots of green and lots of red in all the builds.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, not to mention,
I was like red, green, beard. Okay, winter,
Yeah.
Christmas, got it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure we all know that Magista was the Lego Santa Claus figure too, just in red.
Yeah.
Same beard, same everything really. And he's just rolling around in red. No. Yeah, no, I like that. So let's just go with that. Dragon Masters are Christmas. That's what it means now.
Yep.
We're just like making our own lore up as we go. We don't even care anymore.
That's all right. We'll write a book one day.
There we go. Let's make it happen. Do you think the armor shop is part of the Crusader line? A lot of people keep it in there, but it technically doesn't have a Crusader emblem on the shop, as far as I know.
No.
I think, though, that it does fit into the castle wall of the Crusader castle, doesn't it?
Yeah, it would technically, but it did have a peasant as the shopkeep. So I assumed it would have just been a village set.
Yeah.
It was neutral. Obviously, he was working on, he was selling Falcon shields and the Crusader Lion shield. So
he's playing both fields.
Yeah, he's just a neutral guy trying to eat, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, so a lot of times it does get listed with Crusader, but I would agree. I think the armor shop is kind of the free agent. And I believe a lot of those old castles, you could clip those wall pieces into both. So you could pop them into the Falcon Castle if you wanted to.
Yeah, just rotate out the roof color.
There you go. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, speaking of old gray walls and such, did you want to show some of those ideas you had coming up that you were hinting at last?
Yeah. Okay, so anybody that knows me thus far knows that I hate old gray with a passion.
Yes.
And I have some, and I wanted a resolution because I've been putting together all the classic castles. So I have created a 100% color match decal for the old stone patterns. Okay, so what I was going to do is I was going to show a couple of them. I've got a carousel video that I'm going to upload to both Brick Monarch and Brick Monarch Shop.
Yeah. Right
after we're done with the live, but I wanted to show people what these actually looked like in comparison to the original old gray. So the top one is a new bluish gray wall piece with my dark bluish gray stone decal laid over the top of it. Mm-hmm. Now you can see how this actually looks in the light.
Yeah, well, and I'll pull one up too because I did one earlier, and this is just one of those square pieces with the window.
Yeah.
See that? That's a decal, and I was blown away when I dropped this on there because the way you produced these is the peel-off system. You put it on. This thing is crazy. And just for comparison, like, let's be real, this is what Lego does here. So this is their answer to a stone sticker, and this is yours. Not to hate on Lego, but this one's 100 times better and looks so much more.
Yeah, it's
like
it's extremely accurate to
this looks like a print. I would have to. Many times I looked at this and I was like, you'd really have to, because you can't. There's like nothing. It's the same sheen as the brick itself, and it's the same exact color. Light bluish gray and dark bluish gray, right? Those are the colors you did. Yeah. So it's updating. It's an update decal. You can update your walls and you can update all your castles if you want to do that.
Yeah. So what I was going to do is I was going to show one. This is a blank light bluish gray corner piece.
Yeah.
And this is a dark bluish gray decal. And as you can see here, it has the little lineup tab. So I'm gonna peel this off really quick.
Yeah.
So that everybody can see this in the video. See how the stones stay on the application?
Yep.
So it's just the stones themselves.
Which I will point out, Lego decals have a reputation for being a nightmare to apply.
Yeah, I know.
And this is a new way or a different way that allows you to lay it on directly on top of it.
So what you do is you take it's got that little lineup tab at the very top. You can see it right there if I put it over my forehead.
You can
so
see
that essentially just lines up right at the very top of the piece. So if I line that up directly at the top of the piece perfectly, and then you just kind of lay it down and stick it in place.
Yep.
See how I've got that lined up with the top of the piece?
Yep.
And then I just give it a nice press all the way across. And then I press it around the corners. And these ones that I have already shown have been on for weeks, and they're in perfect shape.
Yeah.
I know that they're going to last, and the material that's used for them is not going to damage or discolor the part itself.
It's good quality
so
product.
now that I've got it wrapped around.
Yeah.
I just lightly peel it back right here.
Yeah.
And it leaves the stones in behind.
It's so satisfying too. I did one earlier, and I almost forgot to bring it all out here because I knew we were going to talk about some of this stuff. But just look at that.
Perfect.
Perfect.
It's just like the old one.
Here's the amazing part about that. It actually wraps. The stone print wraps around the edge of that wall piece. Yes. So I think that's phenomenal, because a normal sticker built on whatever the
so what I realized too is that obviously it fits these, but see, the dark bluish gray pieces never had the classic print ever. So doing this piece and this corner piece here is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, because I'm using this for a build right now. So we've got the light bluish gray part. We put the light bluish gray part right next to the decals, and it's like literally the color is identical.
That's so cool. You did a fantastic job on those, Andrew. I'm looking forward to putting some of the pieces on mine. We got a little lag on the video there. I believe though that I'm hoping that'll disappear when we upload it. Maybe get some good shots of those wall pieces. There's a couple questions going on here. Damn, that's amazing work on both. Thank you. Good job, Andrew. What set does that come on, Jason? Well, that's the thing. It doesn't. This doesn't come on a set. This is our own stuff. This is our answer to the lack of actual castle pieces in the colors that we want them in. So I can say with confidence, you can expect a lot more interesting content coming out from both of us with stuff like these kinds of things. Just stay tuned.
Yeah. So right now you can actually go to the brickmonarchshop.com and you can get them, and they come in 6-packs.
Yes.
All in one color. So you can get a combo pack, and a combo pack has got 2 corners, 2 scattered. Basically, it comes with this here. It comes with these.
Yeah,
it comes with 2 of this, 2 of the middle, and then 2 of the scattered stone. And you can get them in light bluish gray or dark bluish gray. Or you can buy all corners. You can buy 6 corners only. Or you can buy 6 of the scattered wall or 6 of the scattered window stone. And they fit. I've listed on the store what parts they actually fit on. So that's pretty cool too. So you can just look up the part number and see whether it fits on your part.
Yeah. It's great. So yeah, go check those out on the store. You can buy as many of those as you want to update all of your castle walls. And you know what? You don't have to put them on castle walls either. You can put them on other things. You
can put them on whatever they fit on.
Yeah, they fit on a bunch of great stuff.
I was just super excited about the dark bluish gray.
Yeah, the dark bluish.
I love the dark bluish gray with the light bluish gray stone pattern on it. I love it.
And they never did a wall like that, did they?
No.
Well, here's my request to you, Andrew.
Right
yeah. Yeah, it doesn't come on a set. So if you want this kind of stuff, you're going to have to pop over to the Brick Monarch shop. My request for you is I need a corner panel. One of these guys, yellow. I need a Tudor panel in yellow. Because they didn't make that, only in red. And I want ones in yellow. So that's our next. We got to get that
problem.
Too.
No problem.
Yeah, I would love to see
Speaking
that.
of the Tudor Wall, I have been working on quite a few color variations of the Tudor Wall.
Yeah.
So those decals are coming next, but I still have some work to do on them and running some tests and quality and size and whatnot and cut. But those are going to come out and they are awesome.
Awesome. We're asking about torso decals from Blueprint Bricks. There's a whole bunch of ideas we're working on together.
There's a lot of things in the works. There's a lot of things in the works. So
bunch
just
of
be
stuff in the
patient.
works.
Yeah, be patient, and you will receive great news in a few weeks.
Yeah, we're working on some joint stuff together, and there's so many ideas. We do have to find time to put these things together, and a lot of these things are a lot of work. A lot of work goes into these things because they are so high quality. Like you just saw what they looked like. I've gotten the shirts from Monarch Shop. My content, my PDFs, I put hours and hours into putting those PDFs together to make them really user-friendly Lego instructions that are like what you would get from the Lego company, if not better. So it is time, but like we're trying to push stuff out as we can.
Yeah. I do have one other thing that I wanted to show and just introduce.
Love it. Let's see it.
So I decided that I was going to put together some of the original classic strings, where you could buy brand new strings in the size that you need them in based on the set that you're trying to build.
Wow.
Plus one that's 200 centimeters, which is 79 inches long. Now, the longest string that has ever been put in a set is the 125 centimeter, which is on the Black Seas Barracuda.
Got it.
So, and I've got them all the way down. I got 20 centimeter, 30, 40, 50, 75, 100. And I mean, we're talking, I've got these listed at like less than $2. Some of them are less than $1.
That's awesome. So these are replacement ropes, basically, for all the old school.
Replacement ropes, the original classic ropes for drawbridges, ships, trapdoors.
And are these
kind of things?
Did you mention earlier? I can't remember that these are the same material as the original ones.
Yeah, and these actually they don't have any kind of flex in them, so the length is the length, and they tie really good knots.
Got it.
And if you remember some of the classic builds, they would take the one end of the string and pinch it between two pieces.
Yep. You
can pinch this between two pieces.
That's awesome. No, I will absolutely be looking into getting some of those from you because I
was looking around on Bricklink and because I'm obviously building all these older castles and photographing them for my just general content. And I find out that the Royal Knights Castle's got like 3 different strings.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we need to remedy that. So when you're looking on Bricklink, I mean, some of them are like $3 for like the 20 centimeter. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Get out of here with that.
Sure.
So I was like, I'll just make a cheaper option that I know is a quality job. I'm using them myself and make them available to everyone.
Dude, I love it. That's so cool. Like I said, I'm going to be looking into getting some of those because I have some strings and things that I need to replace. We got a couple comments coming in. Blueprints Birch just wants us to come out and tell us what we're making. Well, we want to make sure that what we say is what you guys will get. And so some of them are still concepts and ideas. So we want to we do want to say, yeah, we're working on some really cool stuff. He showed you some awesome products, and we're collabing on a whole bunch of other really cool projects. So I can't say like exactly what we're doing because I'm not 100% sure exactly what set we're working on or what build we're doing. So it's all in the works though. Let's see what else. My wife, that video you did for the Brick Monarch was amazing. Oh, thanks, babe. I appreciate it.
It was amazing.
I have that up on my Instagram. Go check it out. I do this crazy video about reviewing some of the products he gave me, like these and the shield back there and a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it's also on the homepage of the brickmonarchshop.com too. So you can see it there as well.
Yeah, I appreciate you putting it up there. So that's some fun content where I just kind of review some of the stuff that Andrew's been working on. Most revolutionary, quote unquote, Lego product of the century, hands down, for your decals there on the bricks.
Yeah, I like to think so because I like the classic. I just don't like this color right here.
Sure. Yeah. See, and I love that color, but like I know that a lot of people are like moving on from that. Like it's expensive. And
hey man, you know what, Jason? You know, I mean, I could donate a couple bags of these wall plates from these old dirty parts, man.
I mean,
If you really like these,
yeah.
I can put them in a box and send them to you.
I mean, I'm down. I'll do a video about it. Hey, look what Birch Monarch over. And here's the thing: if I got my hands on more of that stuff, I make more physical videos and builds of the stuff that I'm putting together on the digital side. I'll build those quickly and show videos of what my actual designs can do.
I'll build them with these.
And you build them with those. There you go. Because here's the thing, like all the stuff that I've done and built like an old set, and I know we're completely off on nowhere near Crusader anymore, sort of mostly, but all of my stuff is designed like Lego designed them. I have trapdoors. I've got moving boulders. I've got ghosts in the closets. Like on all my builds, they have every detail that you would find in an old castle set. And you've looked through some of the PDFs that I've got. You see that. I've built them all in.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't see all that on some of the photos that I drop. And so doing some videos of live builds, I think would be really cool to just kind of show off like, hey, man, these things are actual, like, fully developed, fully detailed sets that you could do.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm going to try to build a few of yours. And then do like a carousel video of them where you can see it in 3D, you know, all the way a full 360 spin.
Love it.
And, that would be cool. I can't wait to get that the little Black Knights winter cottage thing going.
That actually has a lot of updated parts on it. I didn't even use the old printed.
I noticed.
Yeah. So that one's a little different. But yeah, that would be. I'd love to see it. My wife dropped something on here, which was Lego lore book. You have to include the Rivermen in it. Thanks, babe. Yeah. Hey, you know what? We got like I said, we got so much stuff we want to do. It's just a matter of time to push it out to you guys. Don't pass up on the free pieces. Brick Addict 88. Yeah, I mean, if you're serious, I will absolutely take those. That'd be so cool.
I am dead serious. I don't want them anywhere near my good parts.
All right. They're not bad parts. You're like,
I am completely against them. I hate them.
I love a good tangent from Robbie Duck 12. Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, so we're getting near an hour here. So amazingly enough, like the time flies. I don't know. I'm fine going as long as you want to go on these lives. I mean,
do you have anything additional to chat about?
I mean, we've mostly covered what I was kind of thinking about. You got 8 years of Crusader sets, over 20 sets. I mean, that's a ton of stuff.
I love them.
I mean, yeah, we even.
If you guys like the Lion Knights like I do, you definitely need to go and get one of these shirts or one of these shields.
Yeah,
one of these guys right here.
And
then soon you can get one of these and like battle your wife for the next Lego set.
Yeah, you go into combat to see who gets to build the next Lego set, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
sure.
You know, I'm gonna say real quick, the decals you put together, I put them on. They're fantastic, and I'm just bringing it up again. I know we belabored the point at this point, but I want to say this: I built the Dagon Alley set with my wife like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And all of the stickers were offset, so that when I peeled them off the thing, the bottoms of every single one of them cut the print off the sticker. And,
oh, really?
Yeah. And so I'm just saying, like, man, like
I would be so pissed.
It's very minimal. It's very minimal, but it's enough to like be like, well, it's not. It's technically a misprint. And these ones, you're not going to worry about it. And I was like, you know, Andrew and I have put together decals. Andrew, we've done stuff. It's not that hard to just make sure the sticker's centered correctly, right? Like, Come on, Lego, do better, because that was an expensive set, and I expected like everything to be in pristine condition.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you say that because we built me and my fiance we built the Disney Castle together, and we built Hogwarts together, and I didn't want to put the stickers on either one of them. Yeah. And I can't remember which one it was, but she insisted that I put the stickers on. I think it was Hogwarts.
Sure.
And I was like, we're gonna ruin these pieces with these stickers because they're like paper. They're like paper stickers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Original. You know, as far you could get so far down the line, man, and they start to curl and they start to crinkle and they lose their color and
yeah,
you know,
they peel. I mean, my biggest tragedy story on Lego stickers, now that we're on that whole thing, is the Viking shields from that Viking line they released. I got every single set. and half of my stickers they became brittle in like a couple months and fractured, and pieces of them chipped off all the shields. And I can't use them anymore. And the replacement stickers are really expensive. So there you go. There's a product. Just remake them all because I need new Viking shields, man. It made me
no problem, man. I can do it.
Yeah, so I mean, there you go. That's like I said. Every time we talk about something, there's 10 products we could bring up and make, and so that's what Andrew and I have been really working together on, is rebuilding the Lego community, the Lego Castle community, with products that you can get, but also just like content like this, where we're talking about our favorite stuff, we're talking about sets and things like that, and themes and things, and yeah, that's what we're kind of out to do. We're out to like bolster up the Lego Castle world with new builds, new parts, updated parts, and spare parts, things like that, decal stickers, all kinds of stuff coming out. So that's what we're here. We're trying to be, that's what we want to do. So that's kind of our mission behind this stuff.
Yeah, we're even introducing new factions.
And we're introducing new factions. Yeah, that's absolutely. We're expanding the Lego Castle world in the same way Lego could have done, but has stopped doing. So let's see, a couple sticker comments here, because we're going raging on the stickers. Ask for a replacement from Brick Addict 88. Yeah, I may. I put them all on anyway, but Disney Castle, we need it. Brick Monarch Shop. I thought you guys had it.
We do have it. It's right here in this cub.
Good. That's awesome. Snake Knights. Yeah, see, and Robbie Duck 12 did his own faction too. That's what we're talking about. There's your Disney Castle. Yeah, so
it's in this box.
Don't worry about it. It's all taken care of over there. Although, yeah, there's other words. Yeah, I could get replacements, but they are the worst. Yeah, I understand. Stickers aren't great. Yeah. Yeah, and we did a Robbie Duck 12 did a snake faction. I think we brought that up last time too. And there's so much you can do, and so that's what we're up to. Yeah, I think honestly, I'm looking over the kind of stuff we were talking about for the Crusaders. I'm sure there's going to be some comments about certain things that people loved or that we forgot to mention about the Crusaders. But I think we covered kind of our favorite things about the Crusaders. That's kind of what we were here to do. So unless you have any comments about
I love the twin arm launcher.
You what?
I love the twin arm launcher.
Yeah, twin arm launcher was cool. People like this on it because it's so like impractical. But like, I mean, come on, it came with a fully mounted knight with a barding, and then the
all you needed.
That's all you really needed. Yeah, and the twin arm launcher, I love it. People are like, I've seen votes of twin arm launcher versus, I think it's just called Catapult from Black Falcon, the big black catapult one.
Oh yeah, it's
a little more realistic looking, though neither of them are very realistic.
Are we talking about the blue catapult from the Knights? What's it called? Knights Stronghold.
The blue catapult from the Knights Stronghold.
Yeah, the Black Knight Stronghold. It was just 3 little wall pieces with a door, and it had the Falcons were attacking.
Yeah.
Is that the one we're talking about?
I think no. I'm talking about a Black Falcon. It was just the catapult set. Black Falcons had just a catapult.
Oh, the one with the gray wheels?
Yeah.
That ugly thing?
Yeah. Dude, I love that thing. I love that thing so much. It is, I guess, worthy to mention that during the time of the Crusaders, they weren't released by themselves. I was considering talking about 2 factions at a time so we could get some of the conflict involved with those 2. But we can always do that as looking back. But they did come out with I think Black Falcons came out with the Crusaders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then the Woodsman and the Black Knights were also opposing factions during the time of the Crusaders.
Yeah, I mean the Falcons. I mean, I say that, but see, like the Falcons had a lot of sets that came out with the Lion Knights, and then the Lion Knights had a lot of sets that came out with Black Knights. So the Lion Knights, I feel like was the primary, and they fought both of the other factions.
Yeah.
In the Knights Challenge Joust set, the Lions were fighting the Black Knights.
Right.
Again, they were going against each other. But then in the Jousting Knights set, which was just 2 knights, it was a Falcon versus a Lion.
A little set, yeah.
Yeah, a little set.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you see the dungeon hunters hunting down forestmen, and then you see
Yeah.
Black Knights hunting down Wolfpack. I don't know. Is there a whole lot of Wolfpack and Crusader crossover at all? I don't
Not
know that
really.
there is. No,
No.
because the Wolfpack were right at the end of the Crusaders' reign.
Yeah, the Wolfpack was right there at the end of the Lion Knights, and they were involved with the Dragon Masters and the Black Knights.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Right. Because they even cross over into Dragon Masters as some of the little prisoners and things like that in their
Yeah,
face.
there's a prisoner in the fire-breathing fortress over here. That's a
Yeah.
Wolfpack guy.
I love that, and I can't wait to get to the end of the classic castle stuff when we're talking about Royal Knights and the Dark Forest and the Fright Knights, because all of those sets have insanely great little crossovers.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Royal Knights, man, these just came out.
Dude,
Hot off the
yes.
press, man.
Dude, those are
These
so
look dope.
well, and those are classic because those are the ones you would hang, because Legoland has those hanging up, don't they?
They do. This is the Royal Knights is the symbol that's on all the castles in the Legoland worlds.
Yeah. Because I think I just saw a picture of Legoland recently that had those shields hanging out in front, and I was like, "Oh,
You can go on my Instagram and see it for yourself."
well, there you go. I'll take a look." One last thing I did want to say about the Crusaders was gonna get the waves out of the way. Hello, thank you guys for coming in and saying hi. Is the Rivermen's River Fortress was the last set to see a Crusader crossover, and he's that funky little guy on the raft, just rolling in.
Yeah, and it was actually the Forestmen, not the Rivermen, so don't get them confused.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and aren't even official.
Yeah, I've actually got that set kind of like semi-torn apart right here. It's in this tub.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was a lion.
I mean, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it right up.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it right up there.
That one right there. Yeah. Yeah, he's a little lion guy. I was doing some different things, and I like to think that he was an envoy sent by the lion guys to like kind of maybe try and work with a peace treaty with him. Just like sent him down the river to see what he could do, and the forestmen just like they're like, nah.
You know where that lion guy is in my set?
Where is he?
He's in the water pit hole on the inside of the
Yeah,
castle.
did you notice that? That water hole is terrible. Like that's some real dark stuff right there.
I know.
There's the bars going down right into the water, and they just dump the Crusader guy right in there. Yeah. Yeah, he's either that or he's just a super brave knight that like just decided to take them all on by himself. Jumped on a raft and he's like, I'm going to get the forestmen, guys.
Or he was flirting a little too much with the princess at the King's Mountain Fortress, and they said, get out of here. So he's seeking refuge because he was banished.
There you go. Banished to the forests, and apparently the forestmen had a river fortress there. Yeah, I like, he could have joined them too. There's so many fun things, and that's why classic Lego sets are so cool, because even just a tiny thing like that, a little guy on a raft, you have 5 story possibilities, and that's the thing. Just the imagination, like fueled by these old sets and the stories that they tell. And it only got better when you were looking at the promotional content with the big dioramas like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And, yeah. I love it. Classic Lego. The stories are there behind the scenes on all of those old sets. And I feel like that's massively lacking in today's sets. That's kind of where I'm going to end it there.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. There's no, they get on that Lego Master show and they're like, tell me a story with your build. And they don't tell a story with any of their builds.
Yeah.
So who's the Lego Master here?
That's a good point. Yeah. No, I didn't watch much of the Lego Masters. I know that you and I have both been involved with Lego Masters a little bit by talking to some of their casting. And I was last year too. I love talking to the casting directors and the people who are involved in the show. But yeah, it's interesting. They don't. Yeah, they want a certain type of person on that show, just like they.
Well, yeah, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about just the Lego company in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the pirate set, the Barracuda Bay. You know,
Yeah.
like that's a great set, but I mean, the only story behind it was the Black Seas Barracuda wrecked, and everybody came to that conclusion when we saw it come out for the first time. We were like, "That's the Black Seas Barracuda. It ran
Well,
ashore."
here's what I'll say. You know, I don't want to. I'm not gonna burn down Lego, but like what I will say is like in the Blacksmith has a little story going on, a little bit, and so does Barracuda Bay. I give those a little bit of a pass, but like not to the extent that like it was just worked into every fiber of what they were doing in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. It just was. It was their like core back then.
Well, and I think that the seeing the dioramas and the advertisements of all the sets together and showing action and whatnot helped generate the story that you were seeing as a child, which drew you in. Yeah. And you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, some of the Lego sets that are coming out these days are fantastic. I love them, and I would buy as many copies as I could afford. Definitely. But there are a lot less. I feel like there are a lot less children into Lego now than there was in the 80s and 90s.
I can totally get behind that. That totally makes sense. Yeah.
Because there's no story. Yeah. There's no adventure. It's like, here's this set. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Here's this set, you can build it and then you can play with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It just.
No, I get it. Yeah. Or I get also like there's a whole bunch of different discussion on this and that could be its own live stream. Right. But I will say a lot of them even really started to cater towards playing with a set on your phone, which blew my mind. I was like, Lego, you're a building toy company and you're making Lego sets that you put together and then play with through your screen. Wouldn't that be the opposite of what your mission statement would have been even 10 years ago? Get the kids off the screens and actually physically putting stuff together.
Yeah.
Like that's where I kind of like, that's where I draw the line. I'm like, this is not what Lego is in my experience. And I don't feel like that was the heart of the Lego company and the way they were really wanting to go. Yeah, they've been innovative in a ton of technology and they always tried new things and new video games and things like that. They wanted to keep up with the times. But I think they really need to just go back and embrace what they are because people love that. And if people don't love that, they're not going to love it through their phone. They're not going to love it through a battery-powered Mario they're going to toss. Like, they just won't. They're either going to love it or they're not. So just go back and do what you do best, Lego. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. Don't get me started on the Mario stuff again.
No, we're not going down there. That's a whole other thing. All right, I think we're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
I think we got what we wanted to say about the Crusaders done. Thank you so much again, Angie, for joining me and doing this with me. It's been a blast. Thank you all.
Yeah, and everybody don't forget to go over to Brick Monarch Shop and check out everything.
Yep.
All of these stone decals are up online right now. You can buy any of those, and I'm going to upload a video carousel when I get off here. That way it'll be on both pages, and I'll give one to Jason so he can upload it as well.
Yeah.
So everybody can see them.
You got to take a look at that video. It kind of just showcases those cool decals that Andrew were talking about. And, I've always got a link to my little PDF shop. You can build some of my designs by popping over there. A great little statement at the end of here, going back to Lego. Lego Instagram has been posting a bunch of stuff about not being on phones right before they release the new music video sets, which is all based on the phones. Yeah. I mean, I don't really need to say anything. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Look, man, that whole new, whatever all that junk is, all right, I didn't see a horse. I didn't see a knight. I didn't see a weapon. I ain't buying any of it.
That's fair. Yeah. No, I saw a werewolf, and I might get the werewolf, but I think that's in like they switched it over and put it in boxes so you can't even feel the parts on those ones because they did like a mystery thing. And so I'm not going to try and do that. I think, you know what? We know what we like, clearly. We're here doing our castle stuff, and that's what we're going to really double down on. Like, if we love Lego for what they did, we love Lego for some of what they're doing. We're not here to hate and destroy Lego or go after them. We're going to do our own thing. We're here to do our own thing, and our own thing is doing Lego Castle. So that's what we're here to do, and that's what
we are going to expand the castle line.
Yeah. Period. That's it. That's what we're doing. Expanding the Lego Castle line. So, Thank you guys so much for joining us. It was such a blast. It's been great. Thank you again, Andrew. Like we said, drop over, check out all our fun products, and then keep coming back because we have a ton of content we want to keep working on.
Yes, indeed. So, Jason, really quick before we bounce out of here.
Sure. What do you got?
What do you want our next topic to be, so that we can just tell people, hey, this is
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was thinking, it seemed to make sense to jump onto the Black Falcons, because they're right on the heels of the Crusaders, or at least in the same time. But we could do Forcemen too. We could mix it up a little bit.
Whatever you want.
All right, let's do the Forcemen. I want to talk about Forcemen. Forcemen are cool. They're one of the most loved castle factions of all time.
Forcemen are cool.
So Forcemen, it is guarded in 90th anniversary set. Yep, that's the one I got. Oh no! Oh, he wants the 90th anniversary set to be the guarded in. I mean, that'd be so cool. Make it kind of like the Blacksmith Shop, pop them together. I'm down. Let's make it happen, guys. Keep voting. Actually, I think the voting's over, so we won't even know what they do until next year, but we can hope. But yeah, join us in about 2 weeks. We're going to try to drop them.
Yeah, we'll probably do it 2 Mondays from now.
And we'll be talking about Forcemen. So thank you again for joining. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, see ya.
Take it easy.